America's watching ABC.
Ahead on Eyewitness News, John Grundhofer's car is found, but his alleged kidnapper remains at large.
And investigators think they know why a train and school bus collided, killing the driver and a young student.
If coffee or oat bran's part of your daily diet, it's time to think about whether it's healthy or not.
And a Minnesotan is arrested after his appearance on Good Company.
All tonight's news and sports and weather coming up on Minnesota's 24-hour news channel.
This has to be the best car value in America today, my 91 Ford Taurus. Look, I got a choice of 4 engines, available rear anti-lock brakes, bench seats with plenty of room for 6, and for my family's peace of mind, a driver's side airbag, standard. And check out my wife's great-looking Taurus wagon.
Now save up to $1,450 on a loaded Ford Taurus, only at your local Northland Ford dealer.
Hey, for the money, you just can't beat Ford Taurus.
America's watching ABC.
Ahead on Eyewitness News, John Grundhofer's car is found, but his alleged kidnapper remains at large.
And investigators think they know why a train and school bus collided, killing the driver and a young student.
If coffee or oat bran's part of your daily diet, it's time to think about whether it's healthy or not.
And a Minnesotan is arrested after his appearance on Good Company.
All tonight's news and sports and weather coming up on Minnesota's 24-hour news channel.
This has to be the best car value in America today, my 91 Ford Taurus. Look, I got a choice of 4 engines, available rear anti-lock brakes, bench seats with plenty of room for 6, and for my family's peace of mind, a driver's side airbag, standard. And check out my wife's great-looking Taurus wagon.
Now save up to $1,450 on a loaded Ford Taurus, only at your local Northland Ford dealer.
Hey, for the money, you just can't beat Ford Taurus.
On the money. Celebrate the season by giving Chick stone-washed ladies' jeans, available in blue or overdyed black, and holiday priced at just $14.77. Only Chick comes in proportional lengths to fit everyone on your list.
Target's right on the money. Right on the money.
Every day, a whole new Daily 3 game from the Minnesota State Lottery fills the air. It's fun and easy to play along. Just put together 3 numbers from 0 to 9, then play a straight bet, box bet, or both. On a $1 box bet, you'll win $80 if any combination of your 3 numbers matches the numbers drawn on the live Daily 3 TV show at 6:29 p.m. A box bet's as easy as 1, 2, 3 or 3, 1, 2. Well, you get the idea. Play the lottery's Daily 3 game, and luck might bounce your way.
You're watching KSTP Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. And now live from your 24-hour news channel, Mark Suppelsa, Angela Astore, meteorologist Dave Dahl, and Joe Schmit with sports. This is Eyewitness News at 10.
The FBI tonight has located Jack Grundhofer's car used yesterday in the kidnapping of the First Bank CEO, and here's how they found it.
Minneapolis Police and Fire.
Hello. Are you still looking for the Mercedes-Benz that belongs to the guy who was kidnapped yesterday?
Do you know where it is?
Well, you tell me if this is the right license number. 817-EUL.
Indeed, it's the car, and police are dispatched to the scene. Good evening, I'm Mark Suppelsa.
And I'm Angela Astore, but the suspect in the Grundhofer kidnapping is still at large tonight. Police at this hour are searching Grundhofer's car for clues.
Tom Garrison has details.
The phone call to police came from this Metropolitan Mount Sinai Hospital parking garage. The 911 caller said the silver Mercedes caught his eye because of an open window in the rain and the contents inside.
What I'll do is I better stay with the car until somebody gets here because it's open and there's a lot of stuff inside, like a briefcase and stuff, and I'll stay with the car to make sure nobody rips anything off.
Because there had been mention of explosives when First Bank Chairman Jack Grundhofer was kidnapped yesterday, the bomb squad was called in to make sure the car was safe before towing the silver Mercedes to the police impound lot. The FBI can't explain how the car could be spotted in southern Minnesota yesterday, but is back in the cities now, though they are taking a careful look at the mileage. Their big concern is the whereabouts of the alleged kidnapper.
Well, obviously we want to help identify him, and again, we ask people to think about people they know that meet the description. Did that person show up to work today?
We could see what appeared to be a videotape and the Mercedes car manual inside. We're also told investigators found a brown package, but the FBI says nothing out of the ordinary has been recovered.
Nothing of any great evidentiary value that's obvious to us, like the parking ticket and things like that. There was nothing like that in there.
Having found nothing out of the ordinary in their initial search, authorities say when the Mercedes being held here drives, a more painstaking search will be conducted, looking for fingerprints and any other clues Grundhofer's vehicle might yield. In Minneapolis, Tom Garrison, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
And the FBI stopped searching the Mercedes for tonight, but will resume tomorrow morning. And another added note, authorities did recover Grundhofer's briefcase from the car and have secured that because of important documents inside.
The investigation continues tonight into a bus-train collision that killed a 9-year-old student and the bus driver. As Inga Hammond reports, investigators believe failure to make a complete stop at the railroad crossing caused last Friday's deadly collision in Miltona.
66-year-old Fred Beeman had been a bus driver for 10 years, and until last Friday, he had what transportation officials describe as an excellent safety record. But preliminary findings by the Douglas County Sheriff's investigators showed Beeman did not come to a complete stop at the railroad crossing.
We do know that the bus was moving at the time of impact. Now, whether he had stopped back further in the road or whether he was attempting just to roll through it, the only witness to that's dead.
Investigators say a dangling two-way radio microphone cord and the bus's side mirror may have obstructed the driver's view of the train.
Some other factors, he saw noise from young people in the bus. There was a stereo in the bus.
Investigators are quick to point out that these findings are just preliminary. The final investigation should be complete in about a month. But until then, federal, state, and local authorities are working together to try and prevent this kind of accident from happening again.
More training of school bus drivers especially, in addition to other drivers, but especially school bus drivers.
22 students were injured in the crash. As of tonight, 3 teenage boys remain hospitalized. In Miltona, Inga Hammond, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
The Douglas County Sheriff says he'd like to see an automatic signal installed at the crossing, but he says he'll have to wait until the investigation is complete before asking the state to do so.
It happens on the streets and in the classiest department stores, and most of us end up paying for it. Lou Harbin has details in the first of 3 reporter updates and stories you may have missed earlier on Eyewitness News.
Police say 3 teenagers thought they had a good plan yesterday. They stole the car keys at this Brookdale dealership, then took the cars overnight and used them as transportation this morning as they tried to rob people on the street. But everything went wrong. The grocer at this store says her husband scared them off as they tried to rob her. And the suspects were eventually caught in the parking lot of this apartment complex a few blocks away. They were trying to change the license plates on their stolen car. A neighbor thought it was suspicious and called police. Here, investigators found all 3 of their suspects and 2 pistols. Both of those guns, we're told, were BB guns. I'm Lou Harbin reporting.
This is John Wingate. Minnesota retailers are hoping to prevent this holiday season from becoming a boom time for shoplifters. It's a $200 million problem in Minnesota that costs all of us $50 a year in higher product costs. Dayton's and other retailers are beginning to use high-tech camera surveillance systems that can catch a thief on videotape. Judy Cook of the Retail Merchants Association says most shoplifting is done by people who can afford to pay.
For the most part, this is not a crime of need, it's a crime of greed.
If you're thinking about shoplifting, be aware someone may be watching. John Wingate, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
This is Mike Binkley. A man who showed up on a Channel 5 Good Company segment last week has been arrested. It was supposed to be a routine story about pawn shops, but a viewer at home recognized the bass guitar Cleo McAllister was pawning. It had been stolen from his neighbor, Jim Strike. Strike couldn't believe it.
It had been my impression that the thief was not the brightest guy in the world to begin with, but this was really a little bit ridiculous.
McAllister, who even agreed to an interview, has a lengthy arrest record in St. Paul. This Good Company appearance netted him another trip to jail. In St. Paul, Mike Binkley, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
They cried, "Our taxes are already high enough." That's the message tonight from some Minneapolis residents who spoke out at a public hearing However, the city went on to adopt the 1991 budget and tax levy. The 5-year plan includes construction projects for streets, new buildings such as fire stations, and major improvements to existing buildings.
Still to come, the St. Paul skyline like you've never seen it before.
And the shuttle makes an unusual landing in Florida.
Plus, these stories.
Now, is it coffee, margarine, or oat bran that's good for you? This is Dr. Michael Breen. Tonight, some surprising food for thought.
And in tonight's celebrity weather question, a Minnesotan who will be shooting for the stars tomorrow in Dallas.
And coming up after sports. Hello? Doctors don't make house calls, but this one, believe it or not, sends out needles in the mail.
You're in desperate need of an LMA3?
It's a mail-order quick fix in tonight's Heart of the Cities.
I'm so happy today.
What you need from a radio station changes depending on when it is, where you're headed, or what you're doing. And through the different times of your day, and the different places you have to stay, there's one radio station to turn to every step of the way. KS95 FM, the #1 music station under the sun, is 95 and sunny all day long.
Just behind the Haynes Mansion in Spring Hill, Tennessee, we're building the brand new Saturn sedan. A car to take you from Monday through Friday to Saturday and Sunday. A car to drive you through your toughest workouts. A car to whisk you off into eternal bliss. Or maybe just to the beach.
On the next hard copy, she's an acting student by day, but by night, this decoy call girl leads us on an undercover investigation into Middle America vice. It's not supposed to happen in small-town America, but it is. So we're hitting the streets and going inside the world of the upscale call girl.
My big thing is the family guys don't smoke in your station wagon.
Don't be surprised what goes on when the sun goes down in your hometown on Hard Copy.
Tonight at 11:05 here on Channel 5.
Menard's Price Right sale has everything you need to make your home better. Save now on Eureka vacuum cleaners for any cleanup job, like the Hot Shot with 4-position carpet height adjustment, just $79.88. And give your bathroom a warm, elegant touch with General Marble oak vanities and accessories. This cathedral door oak vanity is just $99.99. Your home deserves the best from Menard's Price Right sale.
Save big money at Menards.
President Bush heads to Saudi Arabia tomorrow.
And on day 111 of the Mideast crisis, he failed to gain Soviet support for a UN resolution authorizing force against Iraq. Here at home, Minnesota Congressman Jim Oberstar and 44 other Democrats filed a lawsuit trying to force President Bush to get congressional approval before ordering a military strike. The Iraqi parliament voted to release all 124 German hostages in Iraq and Kuwait. And the debate is over. U.S. soldiers will be getting the good stuff, fresh turkey for Thanksgiving, not the pre-packaged kind. Up in Grand Rapids, families of military men and women are making sure they aren't forgotten over the holidays. Tonight, they began putting up a Christmas tree at Central Square Mall in honor of their loved ones overseas. Families are also placing ribbons on the branches to remember those who'll be missed this holiday season.
With Thanksgiving just 2 days away, our thoughts quickly turn to food. So tonight, some food for thought.
It seems every day what's good for you and what's bad for you seems to change. But what's the bottom line when it comes to what's healthy for you and what's not?
Dr. Michael Breen has some answers in part 1 of his series tonight.
Maureen Lundberg watches what she eats. She says the problem is what's good for you and what's bad for you seem to be changing every day.
Those kind of claims occur every day, and it's really hard to sort that out.
Take Maureen's breakfast. It consists of oatmeal, margarine, salt, and some decaf. It seems straightforward, but what's healthy and unhealthy in this breakfast may surprise you. First, the margarine. You probably think it's safe. After all, it's even served here on coronary care units. But recent studies show when it comes to raising your cholesterol, margarine may be even worse than butter.
I've actually often said if you have to have one, you're probably better off using a little bit of butter. I'm not convinced that margarine substitution is that much more helpful than butter, and the data is now coming out suggesting that.
That data concerns hard margarines. Now, to make a margarine hard, the fats in this margarine have to be changed. And it's those changed fats that can dramatically increase your cholesterol. That's why if you're going to use butter or margarine, the best compromise is to use soft margarine. It's got less of those converted fats. Now, how about the salt in Maureen's breakfast? It's bad for you, right? Well, the Food and Drug Administration says not for most people.
About 20% of the United States has a problem with hypertension that is related to sodium intake, which is part of salt.
And everybody else?
The rest of us is probably not a problem.
The FDA recommends we eat no more than 3 teaspoons of salt a day. The good news, that's just how much salt we eat now. People like Maureen might be better off drinking less decaf. Researchers have just finished the largest coffee study ever done. It involved 45,000 men. The good news, the people who drank several cups of regular coffee had no additional heart attacks or strokes. The bad news, though, was for decaf drinkers.
In the decaffeinated study, they found about a 1.5-fold increase in risk for coronary disease compared to those patients who were taking coffee with caffeine or no coffee at all.
So the final verdict is still out. But unless you get coffee nerves, there's probably no reason to give up regular coffee. And finally, we come to Maureen's main course, all that healthy oatmeal. Oat Bran's been touted as the magic bullet for a high cholesterol. Yet a recent study showed it's no better at lowering your cholesterol than any other fiber. In fact, cream of wheat was just as effective. But maybe you're wondering, what harm can Oat Bran do? Well, critics say the problem is all the hype. It's being used to fool the public, to make them buy foods that they mistakenly think are healthy. For instance, these frozen waffles may have a little Oat Bran, but they've also got even more fat than waffles you'd make at home. Each of these Oat Bran muffins have more fat than a full tablespoon of butter. Felicia Bush is a registered dietitian.
I get upset because there are a lot of people out there who are really trying hard to eat healthy, and it's very difficult to do when there's misleading information on the package.
So be skeptical about Oat Bran. Don't worry so much about salt and that decaf and margarine. Well, they're just not as healthy as you might think. I'm Dr. Michael Breen, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
So what next? Well, as long as experts keep doing research, the bottom line on what's good for you and bad for you will keep changing. Tomorrow night at 10, the latest research on electric blankets, video display terminals, and those mercury fillings in your mouth. You know, during the energy crisis of the 70s, that big number 1 over St. Paul went black.
In 1983, the First National Bank turned the lights back on, and tonight, the spotlight returns to St. Paul's skyline. In addition to the big number 1, the building's historic crown will now light up the night sky. When we come back, find out if there's snow in Dave Dahl's Thanksgiving forecast.
We can't possibly show you all the ways med centers can improve your health, but that was an abbreviated list. Med centers.
Dear Toro, your new CCR Powerlight snow thrower reveals a total disregard for the small businessman. A snow thrower that weighs 36 pounds, yet handles a foot of snow? What happened to fair trade? Free enterprise? Be assured, if you continue to sell the new CCR Powerlight snow thrower, you leave me no choice. You will be hearing from my mom.
Get great savings on the new Toro Powerlight snow thrower at these dealers.
This has to be the best car value in America today. My 91 Ford Taurus. Look, I got a choice of 4 engines, available rear anti-lock brakes, bench seats with plenty of room for 6, and for my family's peace of mind, a driver's side airbag, standard. And check out my wife's great-looking Taurus wagon.
Now save up to $1,450 on a loaded Ford Taurus only at your local Northland Ford dealer.
Hey, for the money, you just can't beat Ford Taurus.
Embers $3.99 steak and eggs, 2 farm fresh eggs, 3 buttermilk pancakes, hash brown potatoes, and a USDA choice sirloin steak, only $3.99, 24 hours a day for a limited time. Remember the Embers. You'll be glad you did.
We're here with news when you leave for work and when you get home. Channel 5. We're on your side, every hour, on the hour, and all night long.
Welcome home. That sure was a beautiful sight.
The Shuttle Atlantis' secret military mission is over, but this time it lands in Florida. Bad weather scrapped the landing in California. But NASA saved $1 million by not having to transport the shuttle back from California to Cape Canaveral.
I'm never tired of looking at those landings.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it
really
really
pretty
is.
sight. And it was a nice day down there in Florida. Nice day for a large part of the eastern portion of the country. While in the Midwest, we've had a lot of cloudiness. I don't know if it gets you down, but it gets me a little down when you have cloudiness. Right? Well, I have something that would get you down. How would you like to say goodbye to the sun for 43 days?
That would get me down.
It would, and it is. It's actually getting a lot of folks down, I would imagine. Up in Alaska, that's what's happening north of the Arctic Circle, thanks to the sun, or the Earth, being tilted away from the sun, northern hemisphere. In Barrow, Alaska, tonight was their last sunset for 43 days. They won't see it rise until next year. Cool weather up there as well. It has been awfully cold up around the northern part of Alaska. Temperatures staying below zero. We have some of that cool air slipping into the northern part of the United States. Highs tomorrow only in the 20s across northeastern Montana, right up through the western parts of Canada. That is some of the cold air from that Arctic region. It's going to seep down across the northern Rockies. Highs only in the 30s, as close as northwestern Minnesota. As that cool air plunges southward, it's going to run into some warm air. Right now, our temperature is rising. We're at the high for the day at 57 degrees. Outside, officially at the airport, with that 57, the dew point is also up there, 51. Those two close enough together to give us 80% for the relative humidity. A south wind at 29, gusting all the way to, that should be 30 miles per hour. And 29.60 is barometric pressure. That is falling. We currently have cloudy skies out there. Today's high temperature is that current reading of 57. That is way above the average for the day, as you can see. 44 this morning's low, the record 3 below. So back in 1921. So far, precip out at the airport is only 1/100th of an inch, and some light showers. Sunrise 7:18, sunset is now at 4:39. That storm system is taking shape out to the west, and it's producing a light band of showers across most of eastern Minnesota. If you're out tonight, probably not enough to get us real wet, but those scattered light showers across most of the eastern part of the state into western Wisconsin, all lifting northward. Expect those showers to continue throughout the night. Well, it is overcast tonight, but the stars are still shining bright right here on Channel 5. And tonight's celebrity weather question comes from a Minnesotan who shoots for the stars whenever he sky hooks one.
Hey, Dave, we're leaving this Minnesota weather tomorrow. What kind of weather can we shoot for tomorrow in Dallas?
Well, it's a long shot for any snow down there, and the San Antonio Spurs are looking at a warmer day, but I'll give you our forecast next.
There's a lot of fly-by-night companies out there. I have a big problem with anyone who misleads people or sells them something that just doesn't work. The Culligan reverse osmosis system is NSF certified. It's surprisingly affordable, and you can own or rent one. People say, hey, Culligan man, because we're the water experts, and that's who you want taking care of your drinking water.
Presenting the London Fog Wool Coat.
My coat is made of wool. Wool from London Fog. You heard me right, don't have a fright. It keeps me warm both day and night. It's
London Fog Wools, now at Dayton's, $239.99 Value Plus.
'Tis the season for holiday savings at Mills Fleet Farm.
Save now at Fleet Farm.
On a feast of great gift ideas.
Give her a gift of style and elegance with a luxurious board pile bathrobe. Choose from stripes or solid, now just $19.99.
Or add a warm, cozy companion to cold winter nights with the Barkley Huggler. Snuggle up in assorted colors. Your choice, only $14.99.
Let Fleet Farm bring the magic
To your holiday gift list.
Happy holiday value at Mills Fleet Farm.
Okay, Granny, plug it in.
Proud to do it.
More truck owners switched to Chevy last year than any other truck. Take a good look at this loaded 91 S10 Tahoe. For only $92.81, you get V6 power, stereo cassette and clock, sliding rear window, all only $92.81 after rebate.
That's a good deal.
This Tahoe's a winner at your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealers. Make the Chevy switch right now.
Don't you buy no ugly truck.
A little foggy out there tonight. The 5 weather facts deal with fog. Stratiform cloud forming at the Earth's surface is fog. It's a very low-level form of clouds. That forms when the air temp and the dew point are exactly the same. It can be done by cooling the air or by adding moisture to the air. And the foggiest month of the year happens to be December, but you wouldn't tell it tonight out there in the Twin Cities. The average 11 days a year with heavy fog, and that means visibility is a quarter of a mile or less. That fog is thanks to a lot of moisture spilling northward, and the satellite loop for the last several hours shows all the cloudiness right up through the middle of the country. Enough cool air caused some rather heavy snow down in the northern part of Colorado, right up through the mountainous areas of Montana. That cold air is going to hold off long enough, so it looks like the moisture is just going to be in a liquid form here in the Twin Cities. The forecast map for tomorrow shows the cool front sweeping through. As it does, you're going to feel the temperature cool off. We should have the high in the morning, cooler temperatures in the latter part of the afternoon. The forecast for overnight tonight reads this way. Cloudy, breezy, showers and drizzle, and a little bit of fog mixed in. 48 to 52 for overnight lows. We've seen those already. The temperature rising toward morning. By the time you wake up, should be right around 56. Could even be closer to 60 degrees. Scattered showers out there and light drizzle. In the afternoon, though, the temperatures start to fall through the 40s. As that wind switches around to the west at about 30 miles per hour, it will be cooler and cloudy. But then for tomorrow night, turns partly cloudy to clear, 25 to 29 for chilly overnight lows. And the outlook for Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, should be a partly cloudy but a cool day at 37 to 42. So we look ahead, temperatures stay on the chilly side right on through Friday, possibly climbing again for Saturday and Sunday, but the latest information in shows that that's probably unlikely. With a little bit of sunshine popping through, highs should stay in the 30s to lower 40s, the way it appears right now.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Coming up next in sports.
Despite what Rand Brewer told Dave, Dallas is where the Timberwolves are tonight, looking for their first road win.
And he may look like the Hamburglar, but he wants to become the heavyweight champ of the world. Joe Schmit has the sports next.
Walgreens presents a sampler of holiday values. The special 2-packs of Kodak 35mm film include a coupon to get one 24 exposure roll processed free at Walgreens. Here's a great gift idea. The new Argus focus-free 35mm camera with built-in flash, only $11.99. And to shape up for the holidays, get the Joe Namath power bands, the ones you've seen on TV, complete with workout video cassette for only $29.95. Enjoy these and other holiday values this week at Walgreens.
Right, now pay attention. Every day till Christmas, Highland will be, shall we say, monitoring the competition. Or to be more precise, we're monitoring their prices. So, if they should attempt to go lower on any item, we'll know it straight away. And we lower ours immediately. Now, you may ask during this joyous season, is it right to engage in all this covert activity just to save you more money? Of course it is.
Highland. This Christmas, we're going to be impossible to beat.
I'm about to present a case to some of my colleagues. We present cancer cases on a regular basis here at Park Nicollet. That way, one physician gets to share the experience of many. The Mayo Clinic does that, we do it. Maybe that's why cancer survival rates at Park Nicollet are so good.
When you need MTZ bus schedule information, use a touch-tone phone to call 645-6060. When City Line answers, press 7433 RIDE.
In tonight's Eyewitness News Market Survey for Tuesday, the Dow Jones Industrial Averages ended the day at 2530.20, down more than 35 points.
Schmitty, we can play Dallas every night. Looking good.
Be over 500, that's for sure right now. The Timberwolves got their first home win of the year against Dallas, and tonight they were trying for their first road win of the year against Dallas. The game went to overtime for the first time this year. Early action. Pooh Richardson will put this one up from Fort Worth. A three-pointer that bangs off the glass. It was a tight one all the way. Second half, the Timberwolves were playing scrappy ball. Tyrone Corbin will come up with the ball, throw up a three-pointer that somehow drops. The game is tied at 84 at the end of regulation. Into overtime. Wolves trail by 1, 9 seconds left. Ty Corbin takes the pass, drives to the hoop. Just about, no, they tip. The ball bounces. Finally, Corbin again. What a finish. As Kevin Harlan would say, Wolves win. 92-91, a big win for the Wolfies in the Big D. So they get number 1 tonight. If you love football, just pitch a tent over at the Metrodome this weekend. Saturday, the Gophers play Iowa. Sunday, the Vikes take on the Bears. And the weekend kicks off with 5 state high school football championship games on Friday. Top-ranked Anoka was prepping for the Prep Bowl at the Gopher football building tonight. It was crunch time tonight. The Tornadoes like the hit, and they will face Elk River in the AA title game. The biggest problem the Anoka coaching staff has this week is to keep their team from reading their headlines. Anoka may be one of the best high school teams this state has ever had.
You know, when you look back, it's just like a dream that you wonder if it's ever going to happen. And it's